critical and time-sensitive update has been confirmed late tonight, and it directly affects Social Security, retirement, disability, and SSI beneficiaries across the country. According to newly released Treasury settlement data and updated SSA processing logs, an additional payment wave has been authorized for release outside the standard weekday schedule. This means that for some beneficiaries, deposits may arrive over the weekend or very early Monday morning, rather than following the usual midweek posting pattern. This is not routine behavior, and it signals a deliberate processing decision tied to how this payment cycle is being finalized. Before going further, take a moment and tap the like button below. This helps make sure this update reaches other seniors who may be relying on this information right now. This update is intended for beneficiaries whose payments fall within the final processing window of the current cycle. That includes retired workers, Social Security disability insurance recipients, supplemental security income beneficiaries, survivors, and individuals receiving concurrent benefits. If your payment normally arrives toward the end of the month and you have not seen it yet, this alert is especially relevant to you. Now let me share with you a very personal and important story related to this exact update. Earlier this week, I received a message from a gentleman named Robert in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Robert is 71 years old and worked more than 40 years in manufacturing before retiring. His Social Security check is his primary income. It pays his rent, his phone bill, groceries, and helps him manage prescription costs for his heart medication. Robert told me that over the past year, his expenses have crept up quietly. Not dramatically, but steadily. A little more for groceries, a little more for utilities, a little more at the pharmacy. This month, his payment did not arrive on the day he expected. By Thursday afternoon, he was already doing the mental math that so many seniors know too well. Which bill could wait a few days? Whether the pharmacy would allow another short extension? Whether his checking account would dip too low if he paid everything at once? He said the waiting was worse than the shortage itself. Not knowing when the deposit would arrive made it impossible to plan. That kind of uncertainty weighs heavily, especially when there is no backup income and no room for mistakes. If you are watching this from Pennsylvania or anywhere in the Northeast where winter costs are hitting hard right now, let me know in the comments. And even if you are elsewhere, share your state or city below. Knowing where you are helps me track regional patterns and provide more precise updates. Now, let me be very clear about what has been confirmed. According to Treasury disbursement files finalized late Friday evening, an additional SSA payment batch has been transmitted for settlement through the Federal Reserve ahead of the standard weekday window. When the Treasury does this, it is typically to clear payments that were delayed earlier in the cycle due to verification checks, account reconciliation, or banking cutoff timing. Instead of pushing those payments into the following week, they are releasing them through a weekend settlement process. Here is where most people get confused. Even though the Treasury releases funds centrally, individual banks control when deposits actually appear in customer accounts. Some banks post funds as soon as Federal Reserve settlement clears. Others wait until their next internal processing window. That is why two beneficiaries on the same program can see deposits on different days, even when the payment was issued at the same time. This weekend payment alert applies most strongly to beneficiaries who normally receive deposits late in the month and did not see payment activity earlier this week. It also includes SSI recipients whose payments were adjusted or reprocessed due to system balancing earlier in January. In those cases, funds are often included in a secondary batch rather than the primary mid-month release. Here is a critical detail you should understand. Once a payment file clears Treasury validation and enters Federal Reserve settlement, it cannot be canceled or reversed without a formal correction process. That means the funds are already in motion. Even if you do not see the deposit yet, it is no longer pending approval. It is simply moving through the banking infrastructure. Knowing that funds are in transit allows you to make better short-term decisions. It can prevent unnecessary overdrafts, late fees, or panic-driven financial choices. Timing information does not change the amount you receive, but it changes how you manage the days around it. Here is something else happening behind the scenes. This weekend release is part of a broader Treasury effort to smooth payment timing and reduce congestion at the end of each month. Internal processing reviews have shown that concentrating too many deposits into a single midweek window increases posting delays and error rates. By spreading releases into weekend windows, the Treasury reduces backlog and improves settlement accuracy. Here is how you can check your status without guessing. If you have a My Social Security account, review your payment history. A payment marked as issued but not yet posted usually means it is in transit. Direct Express users may see pending indicators overnight before posting. If you use a traditional bank, deposits may appear early Monday morning, depending on your institution's posting schedule. Here is something important to avoid. Calling SSA over the weekend typically does not provide additional clarity because call center systems do not always reflect real-time settlement status. Unless your payment fails to appear by Wednesday, waiting may be the most productive option. Here is the broader reality many seniors are facing. Even when payments arrive on time, rising costs leave little margin for error. Housing costs remain elevated. Utility bills fluctuate with weather. Grocery prices remain stubborn. Medicare premiums and out-of-pocket medical expenses continue to pressure fixed incomes. For many seniors, a single delayed payment creates ripple effects that last the entire month. Here is why reliability matters more than speed. A payment that arrives when expected and in the correct amount prevents downstream problems. It reduces stress, avoids overdraft fees, and allows seniors to meet obligations without sacrificing essentials. That reliability is what this weekend release is designed to protect. There are practical steps you can take right now. Verify that your direct deposit information is accurate. Ensure your bank account is active and unchanged. Keep your contact information current with SSA to avoid verification delays. Track your expected payment dates so irregularities are easier to identify. Here is another area that can help. If your income is limited, review eligibility for Medicare savings programs or extra help. These programs can reduce premiums, deductibles, and prescription costs, freeing up cash each month even when benefit amounts remain unchanged. Here is one option many beneficiaries overlook. Voluntary tax withholding can help stabilize net payments. Submitting a withholding form allows you to control how much tax is deducted from your benefits, reducing the risk of unexpected obligations later. Here is where free guidance exists. State health insurance assistance programs provide unbiased, no-cost counseling for Medicare and related benefits. These programs can help you review coverage, understand options, and identify potential savings without pressure or sales tactics. Now, before we move into the final wrap-up, make sure you are subscribed. These payment alerts move quickly, and subscribing ensures you do not miss updates that directly affect your finances. Here is the confirmed takeaway. A new SSA payment wave is processing over the weekend, and millions of seniors may see deposits before Wednesday. This includes delayed late-month payments, SSI adjustments, and select concurrent benefit releases. The funds have cleared Treasury validation and are actively moving through Federal Reserve settlement. If your payment did not arrive earlier this week and your schedule aligns with this group, monitoring your account through the weekend and early Monday is appropriate. This update reflects verified Treasury processing, not speculation. Here is how this fits into the bigger picture. Social Security payments follow structured disbursement cycles designed to balance system capacity, fraud prevention, and banking settlement limits. When a batch is released outside the normal window, it often signals that reconciliation has already occurred, reducing the likelihood of later corrections. Here is why timing differs between people. processing priority can vary based on payment method, account history, recent changes, or coordination with other benefits. Direct deposit accounts with long-standing history often post faster than recently updated accounts. A later posting does not indicate a problem. Here is what system maintenance means for you. Periodic updates to fraud detection and routing systems can temporarily delay payments for certain groups. When that happens, delayed funds are typically bundled into the next available batch, which is what this weekend release represents for many recipients. Here is why misinformation spreads during moments like this. Payment confirmations often appear internally before banks reflect them externally. That gap fuels anxiety and creates opportunities for misleading claims online. Relying on verified Treasury data and SSA records protects you from unnecessary stress. Here is what to be cautious about. Periods like this attract rumors about bonus payments or surprise increases. These claims spread quickly when people are under financial pressure. Official calendars and confirmed settlement data remain the most reliable sources. Here's how to stay ahead. Future disbursement cycles will continue to follow structured patterns unless interrupted by holidays or banking closures. When adjustments occur, SSA typically announces them in advance. Staying informed allows you to plan rather than react. Here is one final protective step. Maintain clear records of your benefit history, deductions, and net deposits. Accurate documentation makes resolving discrepancies faster and less stressful. I will continue monitoring these payment cycles closely and providing verified updates as they develop. If you are feeling the same strain Robert described, know that you are not alone. I am here with you, tracking these changes and making sure you have clear, accurate information when it matters most.